Salutations, my name is Summer, and this is Cozy Reading with Quaker Cats, and I want to do a tag today. Sorry, I'm congested. It's early and there's a snowstorm, so I'm just going to do the best I can. Okay, so Chloe over at Always Booked, she created a tag called Snowstorm Book Tag, and she lives in Kansas, and so she's going through all this that a lot of us are going through with the cold temperatures and the snow. So I thought it was a great tag that she created, and I wanted to do it and share it with you guys. So let me get a drink of tea. In my sweater weather, because it definitely is. Okay. Number 1. Good morning. When you wake up, you see snow is falling outside. Name a book that you weren't quite sure how you felt about. And I chose The Book of Longings by Sue Monk Kidd, because even though I totally believe that Jesus could have had a wife and a family, I feel like that could easily be true. That's probably was true. I didn't buy this. It didn't feel the relationship with the woman she chose. I didn't feel like it rang true. Even though I easily believe Jesus could have been married and had a family. So yeah, I don't know quite how I feel about this book. I really enjoy Sue Monk Kidd's writing and the other books I've read by her. So, and it was a good book, but I'm not sure how I felt about it. Number 2, it looks so pretty when everything is white and sparkly. Show us your favorite wintry cover. And it's true, it's so beautiful outside. And I guess I like winter books because I have quite a few here. I have The Deal of a Lifetime by Frederick Backman. Just beautiful. And that's what the book is about. Look at this tiny little book. I think there was pictures. Yeah, there's like pictures too. I know a lot of you don't like Frederick Backman, but I love him. I will read I have read, well, there's one that I haven't read, but I have read almost everything except for one book of his. Another book is Falling Softly by Mariah Duffy. This is a sweet romance. Anyway, that's pretty much what it is. It's a romance. So, and it's a sweet one. It's not, Anyway, and the last one I wanted to share was, well, there's another one, but it falls in a different category. So, What Falls from the Sky by Esther Emery. This is like a memoir. She ends up having a life like a lot of people have, where she's successful, she's busy, she's married with kids, and she decides that her life is falling apart, and she logs off from like all social media. I can't remember if they stop watching TV. I think they don't even watch TV. I think they just she logs off from everything. And there's a quote back here that I just love because I love silence. If you've heard it said that God can be found in the silence, or that silence can be found in God, then it is fair to say that I found both at the same time. Very, very nice book. And that cover, beautiful. It was a cover by. And then I read that about silence, and I was like all about it. And logging out, I like that too. Number 3, there's nothing like playing in some freshly fallen snow. So you call some of your friends to go sledding. Name one of your favorite friend groups. So the first thing I thought about, was with friend groups, because I don't have very many books about friend groups. But of course I thought about the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, which I gave to my niece, that series, so I don't have it. But I I love that series. I thought it was a great one. And then Waiting to Exhale by Terry McMillan. This is the sequel, Getting to Happy. Love this group of women. And then another one I thought about was the Jane Austen Book Club by Karen Joy Fowler. I thought this was a great group of friends. And I mean, anything with Jane Austen, I am there for. Talking about Jane Austen, anything. So then I was thinking Charlene Harris, her Midnight Crossroads series, but then I realized that they're more just, I think that they're more just of a convenience, because I thought if you take those people out of that tiny town and put them in a city, would they be friends? And I'm thinking no. And this is another one that's kind of a convenient or a situational type group of friends, but I really enjoyed it, and that is the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Society pie. Oh Lord, Potato Peel Pie Society. Wow. I don't know. I can never get it right, but I'm never usually that bad at it. By Mary Ann Schaefer and Ann Barrows. I think most of you know. Now I won't be able to talk the rest of this video. I think most of you know what that's about. And I refuse to watch the movie for some reason. I don't know why. My mom loved it, but I just don't want to watch it. Number 4, you must have slept in a little because the best hills are already pretty busy and the snow is packed down firm, making the hills extra fast. Name a book that was so fast-paced you couldn't stop reading. So one of them was Whiteout by Ken Fullett. And this is like perfect for this type of weather also. Because the whiteouts are so scary. You can't, the phone lines are down, your electric, water, all that stuff. Nobody can get to you if there's an emergency, an ambulance trying to get out to where you are. And this all takes place in like 24 hours. So that's why it's so fast paced too. It does go back and forth between, like timelines taking you back and telling you things, but it takes place in a day. So it's suspense for sure. And another one was, I read this in a week, but it's 800 pages, and I didn't want to put it down. Absolutely loved it. And I haven't talked about this book yet, but this is The Evening and the Morning by Ken Fullett, and this is a prequel to The Pillars of the Earth, but it's published as the 4th book. So you're really supposed to read it as the 4th book, but I didn't feel like I got spoiled for anything. I just loved it and was along for the ride the whole way. You do find out things that you didn't know about, but I didn't feel like I was spoiled at all. I was just so happy about all of it. Okay, number 5. The roads are getting bad and the traffic is crawling. Name a book that took you forever to get through. Oh, oh my gosh. I'm a bit of a mess here, guys. So books take me forever to get through because of me, because I like to just sit on a book and just read a little bit at a time, because if I'm loving it, I don't want it to end. One of those books was This Much I Know Is True, or I Know This Much Is True by Wally Lamb. I think I've been saying it wrong this whole time. I think I've been calling it This Much I Know Is True instead of I Know This Much Is True. Oh, wow. That's interesting. I love this book so much. I mean, it was my favorite book of 2020. I think it's up there with my top 5 favorites. There's a couple I need to reread that are up there on my top 5 to make sure they're still standing, which I'd love to do this year. Just trying to fit everything in is hard right now. I'm hoping this summer and fall things open up a little bit more. But anyway, yeah, I would just read a couple pages of that every night because I wanted it to stay with me forever. I wanted to be with Dominic Birdsey forever. And another one that I'm reading right now is War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy. I think I've been reading this since like September, October. Yeah, I've been reading it for a long time. But I'm now in I've reached 1,000 pages. So that means that I have like 358 pages left. And part of the reason why is, the print is really tiny. I love Anthony Briggs' translation. I was not happy at all with Pever and Bolonsky translation. And this translation I could not find. Either I couldn't find it on an ebook or it was like $10, and there's no way I would ever pay $10 for an ebook. Just not happening. So I thought I'll just struggle through the small print and just take longer to read it. But I'm now wanting to finish it because I'm wanting to read the Count. I'm doing a read along for the Count of Monte Cristo for the March of the Mammoths. So I'm really wanting to get War and Peace done before I start that other huge book, which the Count of Monte Cristo is like 100 pages shorter than this. And I don't plan to sit on it forever because I think I have it as an ebook because it's a Black Penguin Classic also, so it has the tiny print. But yeah, I'll have to see if it's the same translation. We'll see. But yeah, I'm excited I want to get that finished now. But it's because of me. It's not because of the story. The story is phenomenal. Those of you who have read War and Peace, you guys know how good it is. And how nice it is to like sit with it and not rush through. War and Peace is not a book. It's a book you want to read some every day, but I don't know. I don't want to rush. Tolstoy, I mean, it's amazing. So long ago, and it feels so modern in a way. I don't know. Okay, where in the world was I? Okay, 6. Sledding is fun but exhausting. Time to have a snack. Name a book with a foodie element. I am not into reading foodie books, but I really enjoyed The Lost Recipe for Happiness by Barbara O'Neill. This is about a woman who is in a bad car accident, so she has chronic pain that she's going to have to live with for the rest of her life. And it's changing her life. She wants to open a kitchen. Like her dream is to open a kitchen. And so and there's some romance in here too, and her struggles of opening up and letting go of things. And it was really good. Another one that I just won from Goodreads was Finding Freedom by Erin French. It's a memoir, a cook story remaking a life from scratch. And I mean, this cover is absolutely beautiful. This is the arc that comes out in April, so I really want to get to it in March, so that way I can let you guys know how good it is. So, oh, bonus question. Tell us your favorite wintertime snack or drink. So I pretty much drink the same things all year round. I mean, I drink hot tea in the summertime. I don't like cold drinks. Even water, I drink at room temperature. And I drink coffee in the evening. I'll have a cup or two of coffee. So that's what I drink all year round. But something I like, especially in the wintertime, is caramel popcorn. And I think it's because of the nostalgia it brings. Every year for Christmas, my grandma would make each of us grandkids this humongous bag, or each own individual humongous bag of caramel popcorn that she would make. And I remember one year she actually melted down Red Hots and drizzled those over the caramel popcorn. And oh my gosh, it was so amazing. She did that for a couple of years in a row for us that loved it so much. So yeah, I actually upstairs right now, I have some caramel popcorn. And it's just something that, makes me think of her and, how much I miss her all the time. But, it's, this time of year, it just, I don't know. That nostalgia. So number 7, that snack was great, but you just can't quite shake the chill, so you go and sit by the fireplace to get some heat. Name a hot new release that you loved or one you're excited about. Now I feel like this book I just finished, The Evening and the Morning, maybe it came out last year. I don't know. The years all blend into me. But this felt like I think this was a hot new release, and I absolutely loved it. And two other books. This is one I'm really excited about. I just bought it, so it's new to me, but I think it came out in 2019. And that Strangers Assume My Girlfriend Is My Nurse by Shane Burkall. Now Shane and Hannah have a YouTube channel called Squirmy and Grubs, and I will link it down below because I love their channel so much. Last night, I believed I watched a video of theirs, something about here's ways that Shane makes Hannah smile or something like that. And it's just so romantic, you know, having somebody care about you and wanting to make you smile. I love the video. So I will link it down below. Oh, and the other one, this one is newer. I mean, I think it came out the end of last year. This is the sequel to The Revolution of Marina M. by Janet Fitch, and this is Chimes of a Lost Cathedral. Now, as soon as I read The Revolution of Marina M. and finished it, I realized it was a series. I didn't know that when I was reading it, and so I bought this right away. But then I realized if it's a series, I want to know if maybe it's a duology. Like, I want to know, because if it's a duology, then I will reread The Revolution of Marina M because there was so much in there. And then I'll read this. But if it's not, if it's a trilogy or a full series, I'm waiting till the third book comes before I reread The Revolution of Marina M and then read this one and then be ready for the next one. That's the bad thing about series. Okay, number 8. The snow has been falling for hours and it's still coming down out there. Name an ongoing series that you are loving. That's easy. Right now, I've been so caught up in Brandon Sanderson's Stormlight archive. And I didn't think I would because I read The Way of Kings last year or the year before. And I thought it was okay. I thought, oh, it's good. I reread it this year listening to it and got hooked. And so then I read/listened to Words of Radiance and was the same. Like, I thought it was just even better. This one, I believe, Edge Dancer slides between Words of Radiance and Oathbringer, which I own Oathbringer. And I got this from the library because I know it sounds bad, but I didn't want to pay for such a small book. But it's really not that small of a book. But I don't know. I'm weird. Like, I'll pay, a lot of money for a thicker book, but if it's a smaller book, I don't. It makes no sense at all. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But this is a library book, and I'm really hoping to get to it. I'm really hoping to get to it, guys, so that way I can get to Oathbringer. But I'm not going to be able to fit Oathbringer in March. I don't know what I'm thinking. My TBR is so loaded until April. And then April, I know we have Springathon, right? And April's my birthday month. And April is also Angie over at Literary Labor's birthday month. She was born one day before me. And so last year she had recommended a book, one of her favorite books, I Capture the Castle. I forget who it's by. But since it's her birthday month, I plan to read the book that she recommended to me last year. So that's 2 books I have in April that I know of that I'm going to have on my TBR. What was the first one? Oh, Springathon. Yeah, I know what book I'm choosing. My mom has it right now. I have to get it back from her. Okay, I got off. Sorry about that. Number 9. It's evening now, and there's so much snow. Schools have been called, and activities have been canceled for tomorrow, giving you nothing to do but stay home and read. Name a book you finished in a day. So I do not like to read books in a day. even if I'm loving it and I want to know, it's like, oh no, I want to, I don't want to read it right now. But The Mist by Stephen King, I read this in a day, and I loved it. It's different from the movie. The ending is different from the movie. So if you watch the movie has a better ending. I hate to say that, but it does, because I'm just a huge Stephen King fan, and usually I don't like Stephen King's movies at all. Um, I shouldn't say that. I like the movies, some of the movies. So let's see. Uh, Rita Hayworth and The Shawshank Redemption were so much the same, just perfection. The same with Misery, the same with Dolores Claiborne, and the same with The Green Mile. Those movies and books were so the same, like the same feel. They picked wonderful characters. So good. But most of the movies, I'm like, oh gosh, that's rough, But another one that I read like in a day of Stephen King was Firestarter. So much. This book is so much better than the movie. Now, granted, I watched the movie when I was a kid, so I just remember it being kind of cheesy, even as a kid. Like I was just like, eh. That's why when I read this a couple years ago, I could not believe how fantastic this book was. Like it just blew me away. I was reading some of his backlist, and his backlist books. I don't know. I don't want to say I like his backlist better because I just love all Stephen King. And it's funny because my least favorite is Revival. And somebody was talking about how great it was. And I'm thinking, maybe I should reread it. Maybe I was in a bad place when I was reading it. It could have been a couple years, 5 years ago, 4, 5, 6 years ago, rough times. So, but another one that even as I read these as a teenager, and they, oh my gosh, you could go through so many of those in a day. This is The Green Mile. This is how it first came out. Or this is how I remember it first coming out. Of course, I was a teenager, so I think I was 14 or something. Okay, number 10. It's time to go to bed and get warm and cozy. Name a book or genre that you read when you want some comfort. So, a book that I've been reading lately is Jesus and Buddha, The Parallel Sayings. And I've been thinking about things, and I feel like I can learn something from all religions. I'm open to all religions because I feel like, if we just opened ourselves up to the good that a lot, that religions have and leave out the bad. So, I mean, Jesus and Buddha, I mean, is there any bad with the two of them? So anyway, I don't know. I was also thinking about, this was making me think about religion, but it was also making me think about people and how we're constantly separating ourselves. We separate ourselves by race, we separate ourselves by class, we separate ourselves by sex, we separate ourselves by religion, even your food preferences. The list goes on and on and on about how we separate ourselves as individuals. But it's like if we all got DNA tests, I think there would be so much less racism. And if people realized that they have mothers and fathers and brothers and sisters and grandparents, maybe there would be less sexism. And if people realize that we all live on one planet Earth, maybe there would be less wars and violence. And there's Randall. And ridiculousness. Like, why are there nuclear bombs when we live on one planet? You hurt someone else, you hurt yourself, And how good is it for you in your soul to be mean to somebody else and hurt somebody else. Okay, I'm getting off on something totally different. But I love Jesus and Buddha, The Parallel Sayings by Marcus Borg, which got me thinking about a whole bunch of different things. So that was a Snowstorm Book Tag and a tangent of mine by Chloe at Always Booked. I will link her channel down below. I will also link all the questions down below so that if you want to do this tag, it'll be easy for you to find the questions. If you don't have a channel, leave some of your answers down below in the comments, or if you have any kind of thoughts about any of these books, let me know. I hope wherever you're at, you're safe and warm, and I hope you had a happy Thanksgiving. Whew. Happy Valentine's Day, and I hope you have a great coming week. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.